Hi everyone, number one Marmaduke fan here, and we're looking at Handa-kun number one. There are a few reasons to talk about this. I'm going to recommend this, and my spoiler-free recommendation is this is really good comedy writing. It's rated teen, but I think this should have been rated all ages. I didn't see anything offensive or age inappropriate in here, really. There's like a instance of gang violence that's played for comedy, and I don't know. I think it's completely inoffensive. So I don't know why it's rated teen, but this is a prequel series to Barakamon, which I previously reviewed, I think, Volume 2 of Barakamon, and I'm really starting to get respect for Satsuki Yoshino's, not just his art, but also his comedy writing. So since I'm recommending this, I'm not going to do like a play-by-play of the plot, because the whole point of comedy is you kind of experience it and you get the gag. So I think I'm going to try to explain why this comedy writing works without spoiling any of the gags too much, but I will tell you a little bit. So Handa-kun in Barakamon is the calligraphy teacher, and kind of the humor of that is he's this kind of passionate city slicker artist from Tokyo who's sort of stuck in this podunk town where he's kind of accidentally become like the babysitter for all the kids, because it's such a small town, everybody knows each other, so the kids will just come over and like harass him and beg him to play with them, because what's the way to describe it? He's a fish out of water. He's this really passionate, artistic guy, and it's actually a really good experience for him because now he's kind of getting to become like a big brother figure to the kids he teaches calligraphy. Handa-kun is the prequel of him in high school, where he's like this really passionate, almost like he's on the autism spectrum kind of guy, where he just doesn't get people at all. There are little like bonus illustrations from Barakamon, but the story itself focuses on him. So the reason I think this is interesting as comedy writing is Satsuki Yoshino writes one gag, and the gag is carried throughout the entire chapter. If that gag didn't connect, then the entire chapter would be a waste of time. So the way he makes his gags work is not by just like introducing something silly and then forgetting about it and move on. He has one kind of identifiable idea, and then the entire plot is about pushing that idea to its logical extreme and then adding absurdity to it by kind of pushing that almost into the realm of the unrealistic, but it's still identifiable. So Handa-kun's identifiable problem is that he is a bit paranoid about people at school, and he thinks everybody hates him. What really is happening is because he's so aloof, everybody thinks he's super cool and kind of a bad boy, but this is by accident. He will keep accidentally doing things because he's kind of a doofus, and his peers will interpret this as him being a cool rebel boy, and so this creates this problem. And I think it's a YouTube video. Norm Macdonald has a show, and so some YouTube video went viral that said the perfect gag doesn't exist, and it's describing Norm Macdonald's preferred type of joke, where he says the setup and the punchline are as close to each other as possible. And I actually didn't like all of the gags in that video, but some of them were really funny. And what this is an example of the setup being the gag, and it's the execution of the gag that makes it all work so well. So this whole little kind of dramatic introduction, Sei Handa, high school second year. His father is Seimei Handa, a master calligrapher. People gaze at him enviously from afar, and that makes him think that they hate him. And that is repeated actually at the beginning and end of the chapter. And it's funny because by the end of the chapter, you've seen what a day in the life of Handa-kun looks like. I think so one. Like I said, I'm not going to beat up everything, but one neat thing about this is, in addition to the comedy of him sort of accidentally coming off as a cool guy when he's actually kind of a isolationist and kind of a nerdy guy and kind of a goof, is he actually prompts a lot of people to better themselves because they sort of misunderstand what he's doing. So like there's this homely girl who's got like this big giant head, and she starts getting a crush on Handa, and like she can't interpret his handwriting. She doesn't really get what he's trying to do, so she just sort of misinterprets that, well, maybe he likes me back. So you're thinking, well, how could this possibly work out for him? How can he possibly come out of this without looking like an idiot? And then that's where like the silly circumstances will rise up, and he'll somehow manage to escape unscathed with his cool image completely by accident. But what's kind of inspiring about it is that he sort of, in the process of all of these series of comedic misunderstandings, he sort of inspires her to be a good friend and to have confidence in herself despite her homely looks. That's so sincere, right? Like, It's a character who's supposed to be an ugly character, and she's kind of self-conscious about her ugliness, and then we get to see her have this narrative arc where she stands up for herself, kind of like starts a fight with a friend, and then she and her friend kind of work it out, and it's sweet. It's a sweet thing combined with the silly thing. This is what I marked this. All right, I'm not going to talk about that because I already touched on it. So this is maybe just like a good example of what I'm talking about. So this girl will drop his eraser, and in his internal mind, he'll think, ooh, you touched my eraser? Now it's all dirty, gross. And if she responds like that, I'll never recover. So he gets an idea. He's going to throw her a brand new eraser. He just says, use that. And he hopes that if he gives her a new eraser, then she won't hate him. And she, of course, interprets this as him being gallant and casual and just a cool, nice guy. And he just doesn't get it. He doesn't get that people actually really like him and appreciate him. He's got like one friend who's a popular kid. I won't get into that. Every story is a variation on that theme. So if the first chapter was all about establishing Handa's problem, he doesn't understand what people think about him. This chapter kind of gives him another problem, is that there's a student in the class who's really, prim and proper. He really loves being the class rep. And all the other students, because they like Handa-kun, because they think he's so cool, they start voting for Handa-kun for class rep. And in the process of like the comedic series of misunderstandings for the class rep election process, Handa prompts the regular class rep to be a better class rep, to be more appreciative of his classmates, to think about the role less and think about the responsibility he has leading the class more. He makes him a better leader. This whole story, okay, there's a reason I want to talk about this. There's a really good discussion of bullying in one of these chapters, and I think my paperclip fell out. It did. All right, so this guy got bullied. No, this is it. So a year ago, I was getting bullied. Little bleep. Okay, that's why this has a T rating. It has the S word. You got a girly face. What a sissy. You're too dang cute. Are you a girl? Don't go into the bathroom with me. It's disgusting. Your eyelashes are too long. Day after day, they taunted me. The boys excluded me. Go over there. You could get hurt here. It's too risky. I saw you checking out my boyfriend. You dang beep. And the girls called me a B word. Okay, that's why this got a T rating. I was exhausted in both mind and body. And so there's a gag element to this that I won't spoil, but pretty much he finds a way to kind of fix his problem and become strong, and he becomes obsessed with being like a strong, muscular meathead because he's felt like such a little girly boy all his life. And because of that, he's like cutting class, and like before, Handa has to inspire him to come back to school. For Handa, he just wants to give him the notes from school and get out of there as fast as possible, but completely by accident, Handa ends up inspiring him to take his education seriously. It's just brilliant. There are a few little fun, like one-page gags at the end. There are all these great translation notes that'll teach little kids about Japanese culture. And I highlighted this because I think you may have noticed I talk about like the editorial comments and behind-the-scenes stuff a lot. There's a reason I'm doing that. It's because I think that artists and writers reveal the most about their creative process and their appreciation of their customers in these kind of moments. So the whole point of this is they're just like bragging about a lot of, cutesy little toys you can get of the characters if you subscribe to the like original Japanese magazine. And what struck me about this is Handa-kun was getting serialized in the same magazine and at the same time as Barakamon. So there was so much popular demand for Barakamon. They made a simultaneous spin-off series about the character in high school that was getting published at the same time, which is a sign that there's a demand. They recognize the demand, and then they do something to try to meet that demand. And they just do fun stuff. I sincerely thank all of you for buying Volume 1 of Handa-kun. Your passionate support since the start of serialization and requests for a book release have succeeded in reaching the editorial department. The editorial department listens to their customers. And so, although only Volume 1 has gone on sale, they have planned an intense Handa fan club campaign for monthly Shonen Gangnam. Issues will include gorgeous pack-ins, as well as a request to send in for additional special items. Since these items will only be available in this premiere campaign, please be sure to look out for it. There's like the pen with him doing calligraphy and the cute little paper craft thing and the little rubber keychains that are like a big thing. And there's one for Barakamon and there's one set for Handa-kun. And they just They love their customers. I believe many of you are already aware of this, but Handa-kun is a spin-off of the popular comic Barakamon. Unbelievably, the main series Barakamon will be running in monthly Shonen Gangnam along with Handa-kun, starting with the August issue. The campaign was arranged to commemorate their double serialization. I humbly request that you all continue to support Handa-kun, Barakamon, and monthly Shonen Gangnam. This is a healthy industry that is just so appreciative of the people who support it and just does cool things to thank and give the customers what they want. Very, very funny gag writing. It's a simple gag. It's a simple gag that's rooted in a personality quirk that makes it kind of hard for Handa-kun to understand other people. And then the comedy starts coming in as that builds and builds dramatically towards more and more ridiculous situations. A great character. I can see why this became popular. I'll be keeping an eye out for more Barakamon and more Handa-kun. So, high recommendation. You saw like the B word and the S word. In terms of like sexual content or violent content, this is, I think this is a really decent book series, and it promotes a really decent moral. So, if you don't care about a couple swear words, then I think this one's totally appropriate for younger readers too. And it's very educational in Japan. Great series. With that, I'm #1 Marmaduke fan. I love you guys. If you like this channel, like, comment, subscribe. Click the bell to receive notifications. Check out my Subscribe Star, the better alternative to Patreon, and I will catch you later.